Hey guys, what the heck is going on? Sam here with Team Brofire, and we have another match for y'all today. I am over here on the right, and I'm playing Thunder Dragon Flip Chaos, and Cooper's over here on the left, and he is playing like a really cool Relinquished slash Goat Control hybrid build. Really just based around Relinquished, but he added 3 metamorphoses in there, so I don't know if it's like a hybrid build, but he plays all that jazz. I'm over here on the right, and like I said, I'm playing Thunder Dragon Chaos with like an insane amount of flips. I play 12 flip effects in this deck. This has been my main deck that I've been playing for the last 4 or 5 months, especially in like competitive circuits and stuff. And if you want to check it out, I will link it down below in the description. It's a profile. I got top 4 at a pretty good sized GOAT tournament in Texas a couple months ago. And yeah, if y'all want to check it out, I will link it down below in the description. And yeah, Cooper's over here. He's playing, like I said, just this ritual deck with Relinquish, and it also plays, like the Go Control aspect of it too. He plays things, like Serpent and Scapegoats and Metamorphosis and all that jazz. It's a really cool deck because, technically you play 6 copies of Thousand Eyes Restrict, but 3 of them have a different effect. And we'll get into more of that here in a little bit. But the effects can definitely help you sometimes, and then they can also hurt you. Really just depends on whose turn it is and the scenario and all that stuff. He flips Manju face down with Book of Moon, and which is a really good combo if your opponent's trying to out your Manju with, just anything like Mirror Force, Ring of Destruction, Sork, all that good stuff. Because Manju's effect also gets activated whenever it's flip summoned as well. But unfortunately for him, I have the premature to bring back the Thunder Dragon. But fortunately for him, it kind of forced me to use premature on a Thunder Dragon. So I guess, yeah, 2 sides to that coin. He has 7 cards in hand. Looks like a Tsukiyomi, Metamorphosis, Relinquished. He has Call the Haunted and Premature, which arguably isn't the best thing to see in the first 2 turns of the game. Um, and I'm turning Sort to attack, and I think I'm just trying to bait out that back row to see what he has. And he's definitely up just a tad on advantage, so I think that I'm just trying to like maybe kill him before it gets too bad. So I don't know. I just know what his deck does. I've played against his deck like a ton of times. Okay, so right here, he was telling me earlier on the audio. He's like, sorry man, I meant to do that in phase, and I was like, it's okay. So for anybody that's wondering, and for anybody that wants to real shark us down in the comments, Cooper meant to in phase the Call the Haunted on the Manju, and then on main phase, do the whole Tsukiyomi thing so that he can flip it up and search whatever ritual combo piece that he needs. So, yeah, dude, Manju's really good in this deck. He plays 3 Manju. I don't think that he plays Senju, and I don't think that he plays, what is it, like Sonic Bird? Or, man, what's that card's name? It's like a wind monster that searches one of them. But yeah, he just plays 3 copies of Manju because the deck has other engines in it and stuff too. So he had to tribute the Tsukiyomi as part of the ritual cost, which is a bummer. The ritual part of this deck can actually do really, really good if you can see things like Serpent and Scapegoat and stuff like that early on in the game, because you're not, um, you know, sacrificing as much to, get your ritual summon off. The Thousand Eyes Restrict is obviously kind of like the better combo because the monster comes from your extra deck and you don't have to have those resources in your hand. But Manju lets you pretty much just, grab those pieces from the deck, and also like stealing something with Relinquish like he did a second ago, and then being able to activate Metamorphosis on the Relinquished because it is a level 1, and then bring out the Thousand Eyes Restrict. Being able to soak up 2 monsters on the same turn is pretty good. So I go Heavy Storm. I don't know why. What am I doing? Okay, I've got Snatch Steal. I was about to be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So Snatch Steal is going to. Okay, that's why. I activated Heavy Storm so that Thousand Eyes Restrict would not have a monster attached to it, so that I could soak up his Manju, and then attack for 14. And yeah, let's see if I calculated that right. I don't think I did. Okay, so I'm going back with the life points. Now we got to subtract it from him. Okay, now we're back on track. Okay, dude, we're so bad sometimes when we're recording matches. We just we focus so much on just like good card play and advantage and that kind of stuff that we just like screw up life points sometimes. Sometimes we'll just keep track of life points in our head, And but whenever we go to record matches, man, we just kind of like really F it up sometimes. So he activates Premature on Relinquished because Relinquished was properly summoned. So that's really, really cool. That's a cool mechanic about this deck. Um, so yeah, like I said, Relinquished does have a lot of different effects about it that Thousand Eyes Restrict doesn't have. Like other monsters on the field can attack while Relinquished is face up. Like that can't happen, and other monsters can switch battle positions, which can be good for you, or it can be good for your opponent. It really just depends, like I said, on the scenario and whose turn it is and that kind of stuff. Like so, right here, technically, if I didn't have a card face down, or which he can still if he wants to, he could attack with Dekorchi and Tsukiyomi, even though you know he has a monster soaked up. Like if that was a Thousand Eyes Restrict, he wouldn't be able to get any damage this turn. He pretty much just have to go Tsukiyomi in phase and pass. But I do have, little does he know, it actually is a Mirror Force, but Cooper ain't gonna do this. I think that's what he's doing. He's checking my grave for Mirror Force. He knows better. Return that Tsukiyomi, dude. He knows better. Gosh dang, dude. No, is he going to? No, okay, he returns it. No, dude, what are you doing? Don't do. Okay. Whew. I was like, please don't do that. People are gonna roast you down in the comments, man. Cooper's a lot smarter player than that. Okay, so it's looking like I top decked a Chaos Monster. Don't know if it was a BLS or a Sork, but it's looking like okay, it's a Sork. And then I'm gonna banish the Relinquished. Um, a lot of the times I go for whether it's like the Relinquished Thousand Eyes Restrict or whatever that is, because if it has my monster attached to it, if I'm playing Chaos and I need that monster in the grave, then I'll banish that one. So like for instance, right now I didn't have a dark. I had a merchant and a thunder dragon, and then I needed a dark. So he's soaking up the Sork with his relinquished, and then ooh, he drew into a charity with the Dekoichi. Nice. Okay, so he's going to draw into two copies. Okay, two copies of scapegoat and a spy. You think you'd want to pitch a scapegoat and a spy because I think he already saw a spy. Oh shoot, I can't even remember. But anyway, but yeah, his deck plays spy too. It's a really cool deck, man. It's a really hard deck to beat, nonetheless, for sure. Um, and then what's he doing right here? Oh, okay. So I think that in my extra deck, he's borrowing over there because he forgot his. He didn't have another copy of Thousand Eyes Restrict, or I didn't have another copy of Thousand Eyes Restrict. So he had another Dark in the grave, so it was like, whatever. I'll pull one out of the grave. We're kind of ghetto like that, guys, so you have to just bear with us. So Thousand Eyes Restrict, it's on the field, soaked up my monster. I just draw one and then pass, and then he activates Pot. And this dude is just smacking me around, man. Oh my goodness. He's going to summon Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi's going to put my Dekoichi in the grave. He's going to swing for 11. Okay, and then the Mirror Force. Okay, there you go. And he's going to Book a Moon the Tsukiyomi. Very interesting. Okay. I have but one card in hand, so I think he's probably just like, out this Tsukiyomi if you want to run over it or whatever. Um, hmm. Okay, upstart. Give this guy 1,000 life points for free because I'm a nice guy. And then we're going to draw it into, oh, duo. Interesting. Man, okay, so the only two cards in his hand, he goes and discards. And then talk about a very low resource game with nothing really that can happen on the field because Dekorchi can't flip. And then Thousand Eyes Restrict. Can't attack because it has 0 attack. So we're going to just kind of sit here for a second. Really, I have like, if he didn't have Manju, I'd kind of have the upper hand here for a second because I could just not do anything for a little bit until he, drew something like Parshath or Tsukiyomi or whatever and kind of went on with his day. But yeah, so Manju searched another part of his ritual combo. Yeah, so like I said, this ritual stuff can actually really benefit you if you can see the right cards like Serpent and Scapegoat and all that stuff because the ritual mechanic just as a whole really isn't as good as like the metamorphosis mechanic because the monster from metamorphosis can kind of come from the extra deck, but with the ritual it has to be in your hand. You know what I mean? So um, you have to have the combo pieces and stuff. But man, he just drew back-to-back spies. That sucks. And Cooper knows that I don't play Torrential in the main. For anybody that's wondering, like he could be susceptible to Torrential or whatever you want to say about it. But he could. But We've played against each other's decks, gosh, so many times. And I don't play Torrential in the main, and he uses that to his advantage for sure. So this is my third Chaos Monster that I'm bringing out. I'm looking in my grave to see what I need to banish exactly. I wouldn't mind returning that Spy because I have another Spy. I have more Spies in the deck, so I'm going to banish the Thousand Eyes Restrict with BLS, and then he's got 2 spies face down that can't do anything because he doesn't play any more than just the 3 spies that we've already seen. He's going to turn Manju to defense, and right now it's looking like I'm taking control of this match. It really just started with the duo because he pitched a scapegoat off of his charity, and then I pitched the other scapegoat with duo, and then I T-set on top of having the BLS. So I'm slowly but surely coming back into this. He banishes the Dekoichi. I think I have one more in deck. I do play um, 3 Dekoichi in this build. I do play 12 flips in this deck. I play 3 Spy, 3 Dekoichi, 2 Faith, 2 Merchant, and 2 Knight Assailant. So it's 3 and 3 and 2 and 2 and 2. I kind of max out on just about everything except for the spies and the merchants. It's I like really just having a flip effect monster as much as I can. I really just like trying to overwhelm my opponent. I really like Gravekeeper Spy. It's a really good card. Okay, cool. The Mirror Force. That's what I was looking for. And I really do like playing 3 Dekoichis, just for deck thinning purposes and stuff. I think I MST'd that back row just to like see what it was because I didn't want him to have an MST or Dust Tornado or whatever because I was going to set Ring of Destruction and I wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to in phase destroy it or something. So the ring hit the BLS for 3 grand and he had 2,900 at the very end. So that was Ring of Destruction for game. Ring of Destruction can be a very detrimental card in uh, Chaos because you play so many big monsters, and you play those big monsters that can just get at your opponent's life points like kind of quick, in certain circumstances, and they can get really low. And dude, you can just ring them pretty early on in the game. This wasn't necessarily pretty early on in the game, but if I would have drawn that ring even just a couple turns ago, probably would have even been over then. So just a good example of why you always want to play Ring of Destruction and decks that play big monsters. Things like monarchs and chaos and all that kind of stuff. I think we have each other's decks. I can't remember. We both play. No, we have our own. Okay, maybe I just wasn't paying attention to the shuffle. So, all right. So it looks like Cooper's going to start game 2, and we did not side. We just decided to not side, for this while we're on camera and stuff. And then I drew one too many. He activates Upstart. Um, puts me at 9,000. And then we're going to draw, and I'm going to activate Thunder Dragon. Whew, man, hardly ever do I just open one Thunder Dragon in real life. I love that when I do that. Like if I see one in my hand, kind of just, looking through my opening hand, I haven't seen the other cards yet, and I'm like, shit, there's going to be another Thunder Dragon in my hand. On Dueling Book or anywhere online, the generator does a really good job at kind of just spacing them out or whatever. But man, it seems like in real life all the time, like I always open just multiple copies. They just like to hang out together in the deck. I don't know. Doesn't matter how much I shuffle. I either open 0 or 2. That's just kind of how it goes. So yeah, we both banished 2 Dekoichis. I don't know if he just plays 2 or if he has one in his hand, but looks like I have one in my hand because I play 3. So Dekoichi is a really good card. Dekoichi is like one of the best cards in the deck, and I know I always say that about like all the cards in this deck, but dude, like Dekoichi really is one of the best cards in this deck. The 1400 really does help out a ton. Um, it's one of the things that's kept me from playing like Thunder Dragon, Chaos, Goat Control, just like that big hybrid deck. They call it, Chaos Control or whatever. Because I feel like the level 1 Mimic just doesn't get there like Dekoichi does. Dekoichi can really put in so much damage after just getting a +1. So he had to kind of that was rough pitching the Faith and the Metamorphosis to bring out the Thousand Eyes Restrict to out my Spy from the get-go. That sucks having a pitch Faith. He hasn't seen a Serpent yet, and he hasn't been able to activate a Scapegoat either, so it's a rough day for Cooper over here playing. Okay. Mirror Force on the Tsukiyomi. So he's going to flip up the Thousand Eyes Restrict. I don't know what he said. It was a spell. You would think Book of Moon, or it's a bluff, knowing Cooper. I have Sangan in hand, so I'm going to set the Sangan, hoping that he is going to soak it up. I've also got card destruction in my hand. I always like to wait for a little bit before I mean, dude, I'm kind of weird about card destruction. I mean, there's so many times when I wish that I would have used card destruction, but instead just, waited too long and then they do it in my hand or something. But I think right here I'm going to end up activating card destruction because one spy is already soaked up and then the other one is currently getting knocked out of the deck, and I just drew another spy. So I have a dead spy, so to speak, in hand along with a Dekoichi and two other Thunder Dragons. So that will give me lights and darks and flips all in the grave. Um, so you would think I'd want to activate card destruction right here. If I don't, then I'm just not a good player. That's just how it goes. Come on, Sam, activate card destruction. Holy shit. Nope. Okay, I didn't. I did not activate card destruction. And feel free to roast me down in the comments. I don't know. I think I just kind of maybe just waiting to see what he had. He had Thousand Eyes Restrict on the field. It's not like he could do a ton, but if he had Duo, I definitely would have cried. But I contemplate that in my head all the time. I'm just like, if I got Duo, then oof, it's gonna hurt. But see what we drew. Okay, we drew Faith. What I would do if I were me, which I am, I would set Faith, and then I would activate card destruction. Man, I had to have known something the other day that I don't know now. I think now I have 6 cards in my hand, so I need to like make some shit happen. But I am kind of just making him sit on the Thousand Eyes Restrict for a little bit. When I draw a Merchant, that's definitely a good card to pitch now that it's you know, kind of mid game, so to speak. Merchant's a card that I like to pitch off of like Charity and card destruction and stuff whenever it comes to mid game, because it's kind of like it's really a starter card, and I like to set it as soon as I can because if they knock it, then that's cool because I got Thunder Dragons that I can pitch for free. Dude, that's beautiful, man. Like, oh, I love seeing that. Like activating card destruction and then pitching 5 monsters, like pitching 3 lights and 2 darks. I just love that. Ooh, Heavy Storm. Okay, he changed Scapegoat, and then he's gonna bring out some whack tokens over here, and I said, nope, just use the dice. um, what else has he got? He's gonna go neg one on the. Oh no, he's not. That was the same again. Nice. Okay, what am I searching right here? Night Assailant. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's see what's in my hand. That'd be awesome if it was like a charity or something. No, activate Duo, Cooper. Let's do it. Activate Duo. Okay, I do have charity. Nice. Okay, so that card destruction definitely got me extremely farther. Extremely farther. God, I sound like an Okie, guys. Extremely far-ish in this game. 2 Night Assailants. Oh, slow down, dude. My goodness. So I'm going to return to Dequigi, and then I don't want the Merchant because this is kind of too late in the game for me to really want to utilize Merchant, in my opinion. So I'm going to add back another Night Assailant in case he has Duo. I'm saying all this like I know what I was doing the other day. Obviously, I didn't because I waited like 18 turns to activate the damn card destruction. So, uh, I have another Merchant in my hand, is what it looks like. I don't know why I didn't pitch that. Anyway, so there's this one idiot that's over here playing on the right, and he's not a very good player, or he just knew something the other day that I don't know. I steal one of his tokens. He goes from 4 to 3, as you can see on the dice. And then, due to card destruction, I gave Cooper a bitch in hand. He's got Snatch Steal, Pot of Greed, Charity, Scapegoat. And then he draws a Relinquished and then an Upstart. Is he going to activate Upstart before Charity? You would think so. Okay. Oh, okay. So, um, yeah, that's what he does. And he draws into a Sangan. And then he's going to Charity. And I'm over here jacking with life points. He's supposed to gain 1,000 for Snatch Steal, and then I gain 1,000 for Upstart. So this is what you'd call a high resource, high life point game. I've seen way too many of these games in somebody decking out. So especially when you pitch Ring of Destruction and negate the ways that we can get damage in each other. So Snatch Steal, more ways to gain life points. Bring it on. Let's do it. What am I doing? Activate Book of Moon? Nope. MSG. Okay. So I'm going to keep his Thousand Eyes Restrict and allow him to keep gaining life. He's going to activate the Ritual Spell, and then he's going to steal my face down with Relinquished. Nice, he steals my faith, and then he's going to Book a Moon, the Thousand Eyes Restrict. Snatch Steal goes to the grave, Book a Moon goes to the grave. Sangan is going to run over the Thousand Eyes Restrict. Okay, and just like that, we are back to somewhat of a simple, oh God, duo. Back to that, back to a somewhat simplified game state, just like that. Boom, out of nowhere in one turn. He rolls a 3, and he hits Faith, and then I activate Night Assailant, and then I add the Faith back, and that is what you call a 1-for-1. And that is why Night Assailant is good in Chaos, guys. Night Assailant 101, why you play him right there. Actually, I mean, we had the charity earlier too, so I mean, we got advantage off of 2 Night Assailants, and I was able to return a Dekoichi and a Faith, so I'd be in a kind of a bad situation right here if I didn't have those Night Assailants. I just want to point out. So what I have set, it looks like I have like Call of Honda or something set. Is that what I saw? I don't know. I got another Sork or a Sork. Is that the first Chaos Monster I've seen? Oh man, okay. So this is looking good for me then, because if I'm able to just put up this good of a fight to begin with, and I haven't even seen any Chaos Monsters, then it's looking great. Okay, so I banished the Thousand Eyes Restrict, because if I go for Sangan, then Thousand Eyes Restrict is just gonna suck up my Sork, and then set 1. I like having a Chaos Monster on the field, and then just immediately after that setting a Flip Monster just to like keep applying pressure on my opponent. Um, I just love that, because then they're like, they have to out both of them now. So that's one of the reasons why I like playing this deck, is because you're able to just overwhelm your opponent, so to speak. Manju's going to attack into the Faith, and at this point, am I going to go for Charity? Am I going to keep digging? Maybe, cause I know that I have like, okay. So there's a lot of times when I actually don't add back Charity or Pot or whatever. I know so many players that will have like a ton of cards in their hand, and they'll just keep adding back Charity and Pot. You can only get so far ahead on advantage. Okay, I'll tell you what, guys. If there's anything you listen to me about this whole entire video, listen to this. If you're playing Chaos especially, um, you can only get so far ahead in advantage before you need to start playing cards and adding back cards with Faith that take away from your opponent. Like if you're up by like 2, 3, 4 in advantage, um, and you can get back things like Snatch Steal, Knock, MST, Heavy Storm, instead of just digging more into your deck. Do that if you can. I'm not saying that like I did the wrong move right there. I didn't, because I think I was probably noticing that I only played 1 Chaos Monster and still got 3 more in the deck, so I kind of wanted to dig for some more. But yeah, dude, like, man, you can only just climb so much farther ahead than your opponent in advantage before you really just start needing to add back, cards that, like I said, can take away from your opponent. Things like Duo, Snatch, Heavy, MST, Knock, those kinds of things. So, yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, so he takes 46 right here, and then Tsukiyomi and Sork can just get in advantage, man. Okay, and like that, he goes from having all of his life points to no life points. So anyway, well, thank y'all for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and we will see y'all later.